Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press Morning Podcast for July 1st, 2025. Good morning, and welcome to the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. I'm Walter. Here's a brief summary of today's top now for the latest in social and cultural news. Here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Firstly, the Trump administration's plan to cut most of the U.S. funding towards foreign humanitarian aid could lead to over 14 million additional deaths by 2028, including 2.5 million children under 5. This drastic reduction in funding will severely impact global health initiatives, disaster relief, and education programs. Secondly, the ongoing debate over immigration policy has taken a dramatic turn, with the Trump administration filing a lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles, alleging that its sanctuary city policies are unlawful. The city has vowed to defend its policies, which aim to protect undocumented immigrants from deportation and promote community trust. Lastly, the U.S. government's efforts to reform immigration policy have been met with resistance, as lawmakers on both sides continue to debate the issue. Meanwhile, the Trump administration's hardline stance on immigration enforcement has sparked outrage among immigrant rights advocates, who argue that it undermines national security and public safety. These stories highlight the complexities of global aid, immigration policy, and their far-reaching consequences for human lives. We'll continue to follow these developments closely and provide in-depth analysis in the days and weeks ahead. Thank you for joining us on the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. I'm Barbara Waters. Now, for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Wiskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. As we start our day, let's take a quick look at the key market trends shaping our economic landscape. We've seen a minor correction in the Indian stock market after a robust rally last week, driven by positive global cues and domestic institutional buying. The Nifty 50 has been resilient, with large-cap companies like Garden Reach Shipbuilders emerging as top gainers. However, it's essential to remember that mid- and small-cap companies still hold tremendous potential for growth. The Indian rupee has weakened by 10 paise against the dollar due to strong demand from foreign and domestic banks. While a weaker rupee can make our exports more competitive, it also increases the cost of imports, which can have far-reaching implications for our economy. Lastly, the Nifty Defense Index has made a remarkable comeback, driven by rising tensions between India and Pakistan. As we've seen in the past, defense stocks tend to perform well during times of conflict or geopolitical uncertainty. As your trusted guide, I'll continue to provide you with expert analysis and insights to help you navigate these complex market trends. Remember, investing is a long-term game, and it's crucial to maintain a balanced portfolio that aligns with your risk tolerance and financial goals. Don't get swayed by short-term market fluctuations. Instead, focus on the underlying fundamentals of the companies and sectors you're invested in. That's all for today, folks. I hope you found this analysis helpful. Stay informed, stay cautious, and we'll see you again soon. And as I always say, don't panic. Just invest wisely. Have a great day ahead. Now, for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. First, NASA's mission to Mars is facing a critical challenge with proposed budget cuts threatening the Mars Relay Network, a vital communication system between Earth and the Red Planet. We'll delve into the implications of this decision and its potential impact on future human missions to Mars. In other news, we're seeing significant advancements in space exploration, including the launch of a shoebox-sized rover to the lunar South Pole, and the development of the largest solar farm in the world, covering over 1,000 square kilometers. These initiatives showcase humanity's drive for innovation and sustainability. Finally, we're highlighting efforts to restore marine biodiversity, with scientists replanting an underwater forest of brown algae around the Greek island of Gyros. This project is part of a larger EU initiative aimed at boosting marine biodiversity and promoting the return of plants and animals that rely on these ecosystems for survival. Tune in to our full episodes for more in-depth coverage of these stories and other exciting developments in science and technology. Thanks for joining us on the AI Daily Press, and we'll see you next time. Now, for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Firstly, we're celebrating the legacy of former baseball player. No article was provided about a legendary baseball player, however. Jeremy Pena, the shortstop for the Houston Astros, has been placed on the 10-day injured list due to a fractured left rib. This is a significant blow to the team, given Pena's impressive performance this season. In other news, Bryce Harper, the star player for the Philadelphia Phillies, has been reinstated from the injured list after missing 13 games with right wrist inflammation. Harper's return is expected to provide a significant boost to the team, and we'll be keeping a close eye on his progress. Lastly, we're reflecting on the remarkable career of no article was provided about this topic, however. The Houston Astros have been dealing with several injuries this season, including those to designated hitter Yordan Alvarez, outfielder Chaz McCormick, second baseman Brendan Rodgers, and pitchers Luis Garcia and Christian Javier. Despite these setbacks, the team has managed to maintain a strong record. That's all for now. I'm Howard, and this is the AI Daily Press. Until next time, stay informed, and we'll see you around the sports world. And as always, we'll continue to bring you in-depth analysis, expert insights, and breaking news from the world of sports. Thank you for joining us this morning. Now, for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curel.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, tensions between Azerbaijan and Russia have escalated following a sniper attack on firefighters in Idaho, which left 2 dead and 1 injured. The suspect, identified as 21-year-old Wes Rowley, is believed to have deliberately lit the fire to lure first responders into the area. In another devastating incident, a gunman opened fire on unsuspecting residents in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, leaving multiple people injured and several others dead. The community is reeling from this senseless act of violence, and local authorities are working tirelessly to piece together the events surrounding the tragedy. Lastly, we take a moment to acknowledge the impact of wildfires on local communities. As firefighters continue to battle blazes across the country, we're reminded of the bravery and selflessness of these individuals who risk their lives every day to protect and serve their communities. As we navigate these complex stories, let's remember the importance of empathy, compassion, and understanding in the face of adversity. Our thoughts are with the families of the victims and the brave men and women who serve their communities. We'll continue to provide updates on these developing stories as more information becomes available. In the meantime, we invite our listeners to share their thoughts and condolences for the families affected by these tragedies. You can donate to local charities and organizations providing support to victims and their families, or reach out to friends, family, and neighbors who may be struggling to cope with the aftermath of these attacks. As we move forward in the face of these tragedies, let's remember that even in the darkest moments, there is always hope for healing, recovery, and a brighter future. Thank you for joining me on this morning's podcast. We'll be back with more news and updates after this break. Now, for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. I'm your host, Joan. Today we're recapping some exciting stories from the world of music and comics. First up, K-pop is killing it. We've got 2 records broken in recent weeks. Rosé's solo hit app has become the longest charting song by a K-pop musician on Billboard's digital song sales chart, with 35 weeks on the list. And just last week we talked about how BTS and Blackpink are taking over the music scene. But it's not all good news. We're also mourning the loss of a legend in the comic book world. Jim Shooter, the former editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics, has passed away after a battle with cancer. He was a giant in the industry, known for his passion and uncompromising approach to storytelling. His legacy is complicated, but undeniable. That's all for now. Stay fabulous, stay fierce, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Don't forget to tune in later for more in-depth coverage of these stories and other news from the world of entertainment. Now, for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Atenicha.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we look at the devastating impact of climate change on Venezuela's ecosystem, where rising temperatures are altering the delicate balance of the country's unique biodiversity. This shift is not only affecting the environment, but also having far-reaching consequences for local communities and wildlife. Secondly, we delve into the global octopus crisis, which serves as a canary in the coal mine, warning us of the devastating consequences of inaction in the face of climate change, ocean warming, and overfishing. This story highlights the intricate relationships between these factors and the need for sustainable fishing practices, regulation enforcement, and research into the impacts of climate change on marine ecosystems. Lastly, we explore the thought-provoking art exhibition Currents of Resistance by artist Sandy Rodriguez, which sheds light on the complex and often overlooked history of Florida's colonial past, its indigenous cultures, and the ongoing struggles against oppression. This stunning exhibition is not only a showcase of artistic talent, but also a powerful exploration of the state's hidden layers of history. These stories remind us that our world is intricately connected, and the consequences of human actions can have far-reaching impacts on our environment, communities, and cultural heritage. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Atenicha for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.